Okay, captains, we've reached Tier 8, and that means for the light British cruiser line, we are in the Neptune. Again, the Tier 8 free tech tree light British cruiser. It is a very unique ship. It is the segue between the Edinburgh and the Minotaur at Legendary. And Tier 8 is just kind of a weird spot for a lot of these ships. It's still kind of being rounded out. This was introduced during the first iteration of Tier 8 Tech Tree ships, and it's one of the first ones that I got. So let's take a look at the build, see what we can do with her. We are running Bruce Fraser again, and this is, again, a DPM build that utilizes smoke. We also have Scott and Membelli as our inspirations, and that is going to round out the build. So looking to the module slots next, we have aiming systems mod in 1, rudder shift in 2 because of the 50% acceleration coming stock on this ship. Concealment mod is in the 3rd slot, and the main battery reload is in the 4th. It's fully upgraded. I did GXP it, not gonna lie. The consumables that we have is heals, which is a greater heal. It's actually a little bit better than the Edinburgh, slightly, but it is better. The sonar, we have 2 equipped that detect ships up to 4.7 kilometers, and torpedo detectability from 3.3. And last is the smoke generator, which also comes with a radar, but we're not using it for this. And it's a long duration smoke. We also have 2 of them as well. Moving on to survivability, 44,900, just shy of 45,000. Armor, not that great. You do have a little bit of torpedo damage reduction this time. It's the first that you see on this line. It's at 13%. Moving on to the guns, which is the strong suit. It's the same guns as the Edinburgh and the Fiji. However, the reload time is really short, just sub 4 seconds with a 17.5 kilometer firing range. 180-degree turn time is much better than the Edinburgh, and the maximum AP shell damage, as you can see, is really spicy at 3,500 a shell, and they're short fused, so they do a lot of damage. The torpedoes, you have 16 of them. Again, we get them back, and they are very useful at this tier. Going out to 11 kilometer range with 62 knot speed. You got 8 per side. 2 quad launchers per side, making it 16 total. You can fire them individually with a decent damage. The maneuverability for this build is not the greatest. It's one of the worst, actually, that you've experienced so far. The maximum speed is a little over 35 knots. The turning circle radius is starting to get a little bit worse, close to 800 meters, which is pretty large for a cruiser. And the rudder shift time is not good at 8.6 seconds. The concealment is at 10.6 kilometers. Detectability range by air is 6.7. While firing in smoke, it's 6 kilometers. Even though it's the same size guns, it's a slightly bigger ship, so it's losing a little bit when you're in smoke. So keep that in mind whenever you are shooting from concealment. If they're within 6, you're going to get spotted. And moving on to the armor, it's gotten worse, not better. We lose the 30 millimeter armor that the Edinburgh has, which is what makes that ship so unique. We're back down to 16. That pretty much wraps around the whole ship except for that orange part, which, hint, hint, is actually your Citadel, which we're going to showcase here in a second. But you can bounce 203s if angled correctly, but anything battleship-esque, it ain't going to stop. None of that. The Citadel is really big, and it's actually a step Citadel, so it actually raises even higher. So you saw in that other picture that side armor, that's your actual Citadel. You don't angle right in this, and it doesn't matter what shoots you. You're going to get slammed in the side, so use your concealment. So we are on the map Land of Fire, and we spawn mid. And unfortunately, this has been a very difficult time to get videos. And the reason why is because of the Japanese event that just dropped with the new update. There are shimikazes and Yamatos everywhere. In fact, I don't know of any match that I've gotten into at the high tiers, 8 and Legendary, where I haven't seen 90 to 95% of the ships on both teams be comprised of nothing but IJN torpedo boats or battleships. So it's been frustrating. I feel like I'm the only non-Japanese ship that's been in these games, but that's okay. So, like I said, we're spawning mid. There's 4 Shimikazes per side. Ours is moving into Bravo. Thankfully, all of them have been playing, and they haven't been AFK, so that's... I'll take it. I also have an Alaska that's with me, and as much as I thought that he was going to be of help here, because he has a radar and I don't, and I really need him to help me, and you're gonna see here in a minute, I'm gonna ping him for his help, and he doesn't. So it's just a thing at this tier. Sometimes you get people who know how to properly use their equipment to help the team out, and you're going to find people who don't know. Here we're spotted. I have no idea where it's from. I'm assuming it could be from Alpha side. They may be close enough, but I feel like if they are, then they're definitely within the spotting range of that Shimikaze that's in Alpha that's being contested as well. So at this point, I'm not exactly sure who's spotting me. We finally get to drop spot. We did take a shot from something that was way out there. I don't think it was the Musashi. Although you have been seeing a lot of battleships shooting HE, because one of the missions is fire damage. And I think a lot of people don't have any other ships to shoot fire to get that mission completed. So it's quite hilarious seeing people play for the missions rather than for the win. Again, it's just a thing right now. Give it a couple weeks, and hopefully this will die down. The Shimikaze did get spotted there in Bravo. I briefly saw something over at Alpha, which is why I'm kind of focusing that. And then I even take a blind shot over there. Again, we don't have any spotting over here, and the Alaska is fully equipped and capable of being able to do this. And our Shimikaze is hiding in the cleft of a rock. And apparently that's not concealed enough. He had to pop his smoke as well, which I thought was humorous. There I popped my sonar just in case any other torpedoes are going to come this way, because I'm backing up and I want to get in here and I want to try and get some spotting, or at least be able to get into a position where I can pester this Shimikaze, which I know is in his smoke. So I'm coming out. Now, I smoke up because I kind of want the concealment. I'm going to push out just a little farther than I normally would. So that's why I have the smoke popped. I know I'm not able to spot anything, so I'm kind of hoping to get a cheeky torpit on this Shimikaze if he is indeed in there. And now I ping the Alaska. Like, this is the opportunity to pop your radar. I will gladly ruin this guy's day, so I need your help. And so I'm asking for help. He unfortunately doesn't oblige, and this is why being a smoke light cruiser sucks, because you can't really spot anything. You need the help of your teammates in order to do that, and this would have been a great opportunity and a great showcase in teamwork if you had done that. Our Shimikaze decides to come out, and that is the spotting that we needed. We are definitely within our smoke fire penalty, so these shots are going to light us up like a Christmas tree. But now that he's spotted, we have got to take this Shimikaze down. Unfortunately, he takes out our Shimikaze with torpedoes, but we're able to take him out. So we trade. Not the best trade, but a trade nonetheless. It allows us to stay in the smoke, and now we're capping it from the concealment of the smoke, I might add. And so I guess we didn't need his radar, but I think that would have been a lot more helpful, and it probably would have kept our Shimikaze alive. I didn't realize he was going to get another set of torpedoes off, so yeah, it sucks that it hit us, but it's not going to cause that much damage because the heal that we have is really good. Still coming out. I take a look and I see the Buffalo and Charlie. but it's going to get taken out right here, so that's good. Then we look back, and the Yoshino has popped back up. So we're going to dump some torps on him, and now we're spotted, so we've got to get out of here. And this is where the acceleration comes into play. And we take shots out at him, and we got to slow down so that we can actually take this cap, because I have worked hard to get it, and I am not going to lose it. And here I'm just hoping that our Alaska doesn't get reset. We barely cap it before we drift off of the cap, so almost a potato move, but we got it. And here is something I was hoping for, that the torpedoes would just nail him, and then I wouldn't have to worry about him anymore, but he does a good job of dodging all of those. And so we're going to keep pushing out. Our Alaska is kind of turning around and leaving, but he's going to beach himself. And then out of desperation, you're going to see him pop his sonar and radar at the same time right there. And then look closely. You see that white wave that just washed over the screen? That was the Alaska's radar from a visual standpoint, showcasing that he popped it. And there the Yoshino shoots at us, and we actually bounced that AP that he shot at us, which was pretty cool. He hit us right on the Citadel belt, but because we were just angled enough, it caused no damage. And I'm turning around because the Yoshino's still staying flat broadside to me, but now he's turning into me, which makes him broadside to everything off of my right. And I felt like I could gun him down without having to waste or dump torpedoes, so that's why I didn't. And he's staying bow in, and we're not able to take him out. He's so close to going down, and here I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it, but our teammates take him out, which is fine. I wanted him off the cap anyway. So Bravo is finally secure, and the other sides, Alpha and Charlie, have done a really good job of capping theirs as well. And you can see we have the overwhelming points lead at this point. And so teammate wise, we did a really good job. There the Kronstadt gets slammed, and here he's going to pop the radar. You see that icon, and you see that white wave that washed over the screen again? That's his radar. So that's kind of a cool little visual. I don't know if that's unique to because I play on the Xbox Series X, so I don't know if that's unique to what I play on, but it is a really cool feature that I don't think has been showcased or told to anybody. I know that the icon next to the ship is a dead giveaway that they're using the radar or the sonar, depending on what it is. I just thought that was a really cool visual that I don't think most people know about or talk about. So the Musashi and the Shimakaze are over here, and he's finally within my torpedo range. And so I'm going to dump a couple of torps over there, and then I'm thinking, all right, let's swap sides and get the other set. But here we get spotted, and I have no idea who it is. It's not the Musashi. But I'm like, oh boy. So now I am trying to slow down. I'm going to smoke up. And the Musashi at first wasn't aiming at me, but now he is. So I know he's going to try and take a shot out at me. So I pop my smoke. And here's what I'm talking about. You drift when you stop. So even though I'm now finally concealed, he had enough time to get that aim on, and RNG blessed him this time. And he just wipes me right off the board. So not ideal. And as you can see, the ship count drastically changed, where we were up quite convincingly, and now it's a 4v2. We lose Alpha Cap, and it looks like one of my torpedoes is gonna hit. Are we gonna get a flood? Of course not. We hit the torpedo belt, and that's gonna give him the protection from a flood. So not going to be able to secure the kill. You can only see we only did 46,000 damage, which is nothing in this boat. It can do far more than that. But I want you to pay attention to that score because, yeah, just pay attention to the score. Here we're forwarding just a little bit, and we finally take him out. So it's a 1v4. It's essentially a win. But this is the part I want to showcase. This is kind of a fail in teamwork right here. You see the torpedoes coming in, which I know you can guess just based off of the direction of the torpedoes where the last Shimakaze is. It takes out our Yamato, and our destroyer is right there in the cap. Does a good job of retaking Alpha, but if you watch them, and they're the remaining Yamato who knows that the Shimakaze is nearby, is asking for support, and even pings the map of the general direction of where it is, yet these guys aren't heading that way at all. It's just an annoying, frustrating part of this game that map awareness is such a key, vital thing to have. And when you're not paying attention to the map, when you're not paying attention to what other ships are trying to convey and communicate, and you're going to see that the Yamato is going to ping like 2 more times to try and get these destroyers on board to let them know where he's at. And here he is. He pings it again. And this Yamato's defenseless. If the Shimakaze gets off another set of torps, there's not much that this Yamato can do. And there our Shimakaze decides, I guess I'm going to head that way, but it's too late. He's way too far out of position. I'll just go ahead and, spoil it for you. He's not going to get killed. In fact, you're not going to see any more torpedoes come at the Yamato. I don't know what the remaining Shimakaze was thinking, or if he just was on cooldown and never had an opportunity to shoot another set. But that's the kind of stuff that frustrates veteran players. I know it frustrates me in the moment when you have 2 destroyer players. And look at the last one. The last one is going to sail north. I don't know if he's doing that because he wants to maintain the win. It's a foregone conclusion we're going to win. But know your information. Have good map awareness. Understand where you're going. If this had been in a really close scenario where it was win or lose, this would have probably infuriated me to my core. But, I get it. It's part of the game. It's just map awareness is key. He's pinging again because he just doesn't want to get torpedoed. But the score is what it is. We're going to get it right here, and the game is over. So that's the look at the Smoke Neptune. And even though we died and didn't get a lot of damage, we were top on the leaderboard. And so goes to show you that damage isn't everything, kills isn't everything, playing the objectives is everything. So thank you very much, captains, for tuning in. Not the best showcase of the Neptune, but it was a fair game nonetheless, although the matchmaking has been horrendous lately. So hopefully it gets better here in the next week or two. Like, share, subscribe, and please comment below. We're coming to the end of this series. We only have 1 more video on the Neptune and then the Minotaur, and then we'll be moving on to another series. So if you have something that you want me to feature, let me know. So at this point, fair winds and fair seas, captains. Hope you have a wonderful time out there, and this is the USS Endeavor signing off.